Thank you all so much for being out here. I'm Councilwoman Jennifer Van Branken. I am super excited because, you know, a lot of times people will say, why in the world would you ever choose to be in politics? And I say, because of things like this. It is not easy in the age of Facebook and everything else. It can be challenging, but the reward is getting to work on our community, getting to make improvements every day. That is what motivates me, I know, and my colleagues. So thank you for being here, because this truly is a passion project that I am glad to finally be breaking ground on and bringing to life. It's something I know all of Jefferson Parish is going to come to enjoy and to learn more about our environment from this living shoreline. I want to acknowledge our elected officials as well as lots of others in the crowd, and I hope I don't forget anyone because there's so many people that helped on this project. So please know my thanks extends to all of you for your support of this project. My council colleagues, Councilman at Large Ricky Templet is here, as well as Councilman Walker's office. I know I saw them in the crowd. Thank you for being here. Both of our at-large councilmen have been supportive of all of our efforts here at Bucktown Harbor. We also have two former elected officials who are vying to be future elected officials. Former school board member Melinda Bourgeois and former Judge Hans Liljeberg. Part of what I say is so special about Jefferson Parish, too, is that we always have a bench of people willing to serve. And Melinda and Hans are both running to be the District 5 council person after me. And so it's super important to me to put things in a position where I can hand the baton to you and you can keep this moving for the sake of the residents of Jefferson Parish. So thank you both for being here. Melinda's actually part of the Bucktown Harbor Advocacy Committee, easy for me to say, as is Byron Almquist, who is here. And I know Rusty Goday with Sea Grant is also here. Lots of folks we have to thank this morning for being here. And I'll go through a list of them, but I want to go to the mic to talk about this, because what's important about this project and a living shoreline, some people say, well, what is a living shoreline? A living shoreline in this case is going to be a series of rock jetties that runs all the way from this point at Bucktown Harbor over to Bonneville and the Bonneville boat launch. And as you see those rock jetties built, you'll know that it's going to give you a protected space to kayak and canoe behind and enjoy recreation in Lake Pontchartrain. It's also going to build back Shoreline and our natural coast and marsh that used to be here when I was a kid, and I know many in this crowd remember this shoreline looking differently. And it's going to continue to help restore the health of our lake and making sure that we have a place where all that great seafood that we're known for continues to thrive. We have our commercial fishermen based here. The fleet, the historic Bucktown fishing fleet is here. And so it is still not just about culture and tourism, but about livelihoods. And so keeping our lake healthy is going to be important. I want to bring up first someone who has been here every step of the way. In fact, Jonathan Hurd with Moffitt and Nickel helped secure the grant that originally got us designing this concept and has shepherded this project all along the way. So, Jonathan.
Good morning. There was this band who came out of Liverpool in the 60s, and they sang about, amongst other pop songs, A Long and Winding Road. And it has been. We've been here doing this. I've lost track of the number of years. And Lauren and her team and Jennifer and the council at large, everybody, the state, the feds, have been in this from day one, eat and breathe and sleep in this project. It's evolved, it's changed, we've redone it, we've redone the redos, but in a couple of weeks they'll be putting rocks in the water. So everybody who's here, who sniffed out the grants down back of sofas, who've chased money, who snapped at people's heels saying, hey, we just need a bit more cash, can you just have a look down the back of the sofa for a little bit more? We're building it. And this is credit to you for your leadership. You've let us lead, and we've let you lead at times, and it's been a great partnership. I know people talk about partnerships, but this really has been a team effort. We're glad to be a part of it. Excuse my French, we like to get projects built. I was going to, but no, we like to get projects built. And this is another one we can put on the map and declare victory and keep going. So credit due to everybody's here, Mindy, Amanda, and in the interest of Memorial Day, Amanda is the only person here probably who's climbed up Mount Kilimanjaro in honor of our fallen veterans. So credit due to her, hats off. And everybody here has been partners. See Joe at the back, Dr. Hennigan at the back, our fearless engineer of record, who's made sure this is going to work. Nick, Gerald, everybody. I'm forgetting people, I'm sure. So, but thanks. It's been a good project, and we're looking forward to seeing those rocks come out the water. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And we did a lot of value engineering on this, and we would re-envision it to make sure that we could get it out of the ground. And so it has taken a lot of time and effort. We're so glad to be at this point in time. You know, one of the reasons this is important, we have Jefferson Parish runs all the way from this point, the northernmost point, along Lake Pontchartrain, all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico and Grand Isle. But not everybody's going to get down to Grand Isle. Not everybody's going to get to Lafitte and understand our coast. And so having this project here, where you can see a marsh, where you can get educated about our environment, where you can see a living shoreline, this is where we can educate the 99% of the population of Jefferson that lives behind our federal levee system. That's why this is so significant and so very important. I want to bring up also we have partners. I see that here we go. Greg Grandy with CPRA. When we knew the price tag of this project, it's not a small price tag, and so we needed multiple partners to make this come to life. And CPRA, I remember I was able to present by Zoom to CPRA in the days still of COVID, and they were just super enthusiastic and helped at the state us secure some coastal surplus funds. And so CPRA has been such a wonderful partner in this project, and I'd like Greg Grandy to come on up and share in this moment.
Thank you, Councilwoman Van Vranken. First, I want to salute the project team, and I know Jonathan was up here, but also Lauren Averill. The creativity and innovation in this project is just extraordinary. It's a nature-based feature. It's a living shoreline that'll protect the Histra system. So it's restoration, protecting the protection. But I'll kind of back up a little bit and say when our agency, when CPRA was stood up, Governor Kathleen Blanco got up and challenged CPRA, and not just CPRA, but all the parishes, all the levee districts, to be creative, to be innovative in how we approached restoration and protecting our coastal communities. And I think this project really embodies that creativity. So thank you, Jefferson Parish, for picking that up. Thank you, the folks at Moffett and Nickel, for having that inspiration. Jonathan, I'm sure this probably started out with a drawing on the back of a napkin at a bar. And also thank you for your persistence in getting funding. I know how challenging it is. It's challenging, but also thank you to the folks at the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation for providing that seed money to do the design and do the permitting on that project that allowed it to get to that point where funding agencies could step up and say, you know what, you're ready. It's ready to go to construction. The time is ready. And then the last piece with this, it's the agency I work for is CPRA, Coastal Protection and Restoration. But in Louisiana, we always have a little bit of lagniappe with things, and that lagniappe here is recreation. And being someone who started his career working for a parks department in Baton Rouge, I love to see the recreation component, connecting the citizens of not just Jefferson Parish, but all the parishes around here to the opportunity to get over on the other side of the levee, over here, and enjoy this and develop an appreciation for our natural resources in Louisiana. So that really, to me, is where it takes that next step. So congratulations to everybody involved in this project. I can't look forward to the time in a few months where we're going to look out and see this beautiful area with the living shoreline, people in kayaks and families walking along the boardwalk. These are the moments that we really appreciate, particularly as a bureaucrat. So I don't don't know where we rank on the likability index, but bureaucrats definitely, talk radio loves to bash us, but when we can see the fruits of our labors on projects like this, it really fills us up. So thank you very much to be here.
We appreciate it. And for those of you who may wonder what this looks like, there is a rendering on this permanent signage that will stay here at Bucktown so that people will see what's to come. So you envision that series of breakwaters that you can kayak and canoe behind and see that marsh habitat coming to life and building that natural shoreline back. I know a few weeks ago when NOAA was making announcements about some grants at the federal level, we were super excited to hear this project specifically highlighted at the national level. It really felt like a hometown win to hear the excitement in the announcement about the grant from NOAA for this Living Shoreline project. So Carrie Selberg Robinson, Director of NOAA Habitat Conservation, is here, and such an important part of us being able to finish this project. It was the last major grant that we secured that's going to bring this to life. So please. Thank you. We're so excited. Thank you.
Oh, good morning. I am thrilled to be here today with the Councilwoman and all of you to celebrate this groundbreaking. And I find groundbreakings to be such an exciting part of the whole process. And it sounds early, right? You're breaking ground. And we all know, as we've already heard this morning, it's not early. So all of you have been at this for years. And I am just so proud that NOAA gets to be a part of this project and that we get to be here today. So bipartisan infrastructure law funding, like the $4.5 million grant that NOAA is providing Jefferson Parish for this Living Shoreline, provides just an incredible opportunity for all of us to look at what we call coastal resilience projects all over the country. And as the Councilwoman shared, just a few weeks ago, I was honored to be in Miami, and there were hundreds of projects announced there. And Dr. Spinrad, who is the head of NOAA, chose to highlight this project as representative of what we are trying to do all over the country. And so that was exciting for me to be in the audience, to hear about this work, and to hear how representative it is of what we're trying to do in a lot of places. And one last note, in this business, we don't do any of this alone. We do it all in partnership. And so I just want to thank each and every one of you for the part that you're playing, because we won't have success out here without every partner at the table. So thank you for everything that you're doing.
Someone who's been a partner in anything we've done at this site and always says yes very cheerfully. Christy Trail is the executive director of the Pontchartrain Conservancy. And when we the first project we did out here was the boardwalk. And we said, we really want educational signage along the way so that as people stroll along the boardwalk, they get educated about the lake and the birds they'll see, the plants they'll see in the marsh and along the lake. And of course, Christy and Pontchartrain Conservancy said absolutely yes. And that was the start of what I know will be a continued partnership here at the site to educate people as they come out to experience the environment. So Christy Trail with Pontchartrain Conservancy, we appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Like some of you, especially the Councilwoman, I also grew up on Lake Pontchartrain here in Metairie. And I remember the days when the lake was not as clean as it is today. So it's great to be standing out here celebrating this big achievement. If you don't know, we were founded in 1989 in response to environmental concerns voiced all across Southeast Louisiana. And our mission now is to drive environmental sustainability and stewardship through scientific research, advocacy, and education. We are proud to be a partner with the Councilwoman, with the parish, and all these folks here today. We sample the perimeter of Lake Pontchartrain for water quality each and every week, and we've been doing so for over 20 years. Our water quality monitoring program provides timely scientific analysis and broad dissemination of results to allow citizens to make informed decisions about enjoying the lake for fishing, for swimming, and other recreational activities that can be enjoyed right here at Bucktown. So if you're curious what the results say, be sure to check our app, which you can download. Restoring targeted habitat sites, such as the shoreline of Lake Pontchartrain, is integral for recreating a self-sustaining coast and permanent storm protection for communities around the lake. This not only will reduce wave energy and storm impacts, as we've heard about today, but it will also trap sediments. It will improve water clarity. It's going to preserve coastal resiliency and provide recreational opportunities, as well as important fish and wildlife habitat. If you recall the story of the water quality and the demise of Lake Pontchartrain, a lot of it had to do with dredging Rangia clams off the bottom of Lake Pontchartrain. As you all know, that's not allowed anymore today. That clam population is back, but they need habitat to thrive in. So this living shoreline will provide needed habitat for those Rangia clams so they can do their job to improve the water quality of Lake Pontchartrain each and every day. The lake and its resources have made a tremendous comeback, and its surrounding area continues to face environmental challenges. All across the United States, the protection of rivers, streams, lakes, bays, and adjacent lands create jobs, protect fisheries relied upon by the fishing industry, protect food sources, protect and create tourism opportunities, enhance property values, decrease local government expenditures, and provide recreational opportunities. Thanks to the support of all of you here today, we can continue this great work for years to come, leaving behind a legacy of clean water, a strong economy, and a prosperous region. Thank you.
I want to just say a few more thank yous, and again, I apologize if for some reason I missed someone, because there have been so many partners on this project. And then I'll give you a little note of what's to come, because we have a lot of exciting things to come here. Again, Bren Haas with CPRA. Kelly Chandler's not here from the Southeast Flood Protection Authority, but I know Donald Drollman is. And one of the things we've talked about, and Christy just hit on, is the resilience of this project. These rocks will become essentially a speed bump for the levees. You know, you can look at any of our levee system and you see the rock at the edge. But sometimes when that wave action hits the levee, it can scour out the land beyond those rocks. So the thought is, this is really a pilot. We're going to look at this rock being further out into the lake. And the thought is, it creates another speed bump, another layer of resilience in a storm. It allows you to build back marsh, and that essentially extends the toe of the levee and gives us a better environment. And we could ultimately see this pilot project ring the shores along Lake Pontchartrain. You may see these living shorelines stretch beyond this, because this idea may be the future of part of our resilience and our protection of our homes and our families. So we thank the Southeast Louisiana Flood Protection Authority for being supportive of this project and considering it a pilot for maybe the future of our protection. Again, Noah, Jennifer Smith, and Mel Landry, we also appreciate them being here. Myrna Schlesinger from Senator Cameron Henry's office, he's been a great advocate of this project. Samantha Bopp from Senator Cassidy's office as well. We even have someone from Inclusive Care, that's a great healthcare agency in our area, and they use this site for an annual event. So many people who are interested in what's going to take place at this site. Brian Muldaner with T. Baker, Terry Burkell with the Jefferson Convention and Visitors Bureau. Again, ecotourism is a big thing across the nation, and so if a family can come here and enjoy the recreation in this area and learn, that's part of what is going to attract people to continue to attract them to Jefferson Parish. Michelle Gonzalez, who's the Ecosystems and Coastal Management Director. Michelle is phenomenal. I think there are really like clone Michelles, because one human can't really possibly do everything she does with us, but somehow she manages to make us feel like her only child when we're one of a lot. So thank you, Michelle, for being here. And Lauren Averill, again, Lauren was one of the first people who really, in working with me, understood this is our coast. You know, this Pontchartrain shoreline and this Lake Pontchartrain Basin is a shore of Jefferson that hasn't always been recognized as such, but certainly is. So Lauren, thank you for having that vision and for helping to bring this to life. Okay, before we put the shovels in the earth, I do want to tell you a bit more about what's to come, because this living shoreline ties into so much that will be happening here. So across the levee, because eyeballs don't always see over the levee, which is why we've gotten disconnected from our lake, we're going to be putting some signage out there that will say Bucktown Harbor. And so people know that this is a space they can come and enjoy. We're going to be in construction on a kayak and canoe launch roughly where we are here, so that you can get into the lake without a boat. I wore a sailboat dress today because unless you own a boat, you can't get in Lake Pontchartrain. So that kayak and canoe launch is going to allow people to safely put their, you know, their hand-powered motorsports into the lake and really enjoy it and be protected by this living shoreline. We'll be building a children's recreational area, Shrimp Boat Hill, where they'll learn about the commercial fishing environment and also what life is like for the creatures in the lake. We'll be building a bird's nest pavilion where you'll be able to get up high and look over the environment. Lots more to come here, and we thank the Jefferson Parish residents for giving us their input and their desires of what they wanted to see here at this site. Rusty Goday would not let me finish this without saying the Bucktown Pavilion. Grand Pavilion is something also we want to ultimately find funding for and partners for, because having a covered space out in this hot and windy environment at many times of the year is going to be important, so that we can have a future farmers and fisheries market and support our commercial fishermen out at this site. So that pavilion will be important in the future as well. Thank you to everyone who has partnered to help make this come to this moment where there will actually be shovels in the dirt and rocks in the lake building this living shoreline. So with that, if every one of you will come on over, we want to get pictures, and those of you who have partnered with us in this project, grab a shovel, and we'll get some direction from Gretchen Hurt, who's our public information office, in terms of smiling for the camera and shoveling those first earth turns at this site. Thank you so much. Yes.
A couple of quick questions.
Yes, absolutely.
One is, what is the distance from the rocks to the shore?
Jonathan, I thought you were going to say from here to Bucktown, because that's about a mile. Where's Jonathan Hurd?
I'll defer to the engineer Brett.
Okay.
And the other question is the rocks one straight line, or are there openings?
There
overlap?
There are openings, and actually the picture there will give you an idea. It's a series of curved breakwaters. So between those breakwaters, there are openings. That's part of making sure the marsh gets created, how it will come back to life.
And one final question.
Yes.
Is this area restricted to non-motorized?
Projection of land you see, that's bondable. So that is our boat launch, where those who have boats can lower them back into the water. We redid our 4 ramps several years ago, so lots of people are out enjoying that site if they have a boat. This will be the site really for those hand-powered sports. But the rock jetties, the living shoreline, will go all the way from this point all the way to that point. We also have people who do kiteboarding who come out and enjoy this site, and so part of the living shoreline will be protecting them getting in. I am not that much of a daredevil to put myself on this thing and get blown around by the wind, but lots of people come out here and they call it Little Maui. That actually it's a great site for kiteboarding, and so it will go a mile to the west all the way to Bonneville. And so it really connects 2 great recreational points for us, and is a site where we know we'll get lots of foot traffic, lots of eyeballs who will get out and enjoy and better understand what a living shoreline is, and what this environment is all about. Happy to answer any questions afterward as well, but let's start turning dirt.
3, 2, 1.